The earth shook as the goddess slammed into the ground, her landing so powerful that cracks split through the soil, rippling outward. The goddess stood before Cabo and his group, towering over them like a mountain of muscle and strength. Her presence was terrifying, a force so raw and primal, it made the men feel small, insignificant. No one dared move. Their feet seemed nailed to the earth, their breaths shallow and shaky. "I have heard your prayers," the goddess's voice boomed, like the deep growl of a distant storm. "I come bearing a gift, a power beyond mortal limits. You will become gods among men, hunters, destroyers of the snake people. Your senses will sharpen beyond anything you've known. You will scent your prey from miles away, hear even the softest rustle of danger. Your bodies will transform, infused with my strength, my speed, my ferocity. You will be unstoppable." The group remained frozen, the weight of her words sinking in. "But be warned," she continued, her voice dropping lower, more dangerous. "This gift carries great responsibility. It will not only change you, but also your descendants. If any of you do not wish to bear this burden, leave now." The silence that followed was thick, suffocating. Then, a few men bolted, disappearing into the forest like frightened animals. The goddess didn't even glance at them as they fled. "Good," she said, her eyes now fixed on Cabo. "Cabo, step forward. You are watching the Tales of the Savannah. Subscribe and be part of the tribe. Now let's get back to the story." Cabo's legs wobbled, his body betraying him. He took a shaky step, then another, feeling the eyes of the goddess boring into him. Sweat trickled down his back, but he couldn't stop now, not in front of her. "From this moment," the goddess declared, her voice booming, "you will be known as Cabo the Great, the first of the hunters. From your bloodline, leaders will rise, heroes who will guide my people through the ages." Cabo bowed so low he could feel the earth beneath his forehead. "You honor me, great goddess," he managed to say. The goddess nodded, but her gaze sharpened. "There is something you wish to ask, Cabo," she said. "Speak." Cabo swallowed hard, his mouth dry, his heart beating fast in his chest, but he forced himself to meet her gaze. "Before we accept your gift," he began, "there is the matter of the snake people. They hunt humans and consume them. Can anything be done about this primal hunger and thirst?" The goddess's eyes darkened. She seemed to consider his words for a moment, and then she spoke. "That is a matter for a higher power than I," she said, her voice colder now, more distant. "But for now, Cabo the Great, your time has come." With a flick of her hand, the air around them tore open, revealing a swirling vortex of light and shadow. The wind howled through the clearing, and the pull of the vortex tugged at Cabo, beckoning him forward. "Step into the vortex, Cabo," the goddess commanded, "and claim your gift." Every instinct in Cabo screamed to run, but he forced himself to take one step, then another. The world around him seemed to twist and blur as he entered the vortex, the air crackling with energy. His breath came in short, sharp bursts. This was it. There was no going back. Meanwhile, Mambo burst out of the temple, his heart racing. He had felt a tremor beneath his feet. It had been subtle but unmistakable. Had a pillar fallen during construction? The temple project was already behind schedule. There could be no more setbacks. But as he stepped outside, his worries about the temple vanished. In the distance, a dark cloud reaching to the heavens. A cold chill swept over him. He recognized the strange energy it emitted, faint yet familiar. He had felt it once before, the day he received the snake gift. The same ominous force lingered in the air, thick and unsettling. "Summon the family," Mabo said sharply to Eli, his younger brother, who was nearby. His voice tense, urgent. "We must prepare. Something big is coming." Zoro and Sia stood at the base of the mountain, the path ahead winding up into the darkening sky. If they started now, they would be back before midnight. For most, the climb would take hours, but these weren't ordinary men. Zoro and Sia were demigods, and the summit was just another obstacle they would conquer with ease.
"Zoro, is that you?"
A soft voice drifted through the air, faint but familiar. Zoro froze. It sounded like Tando, Sia's mother, a voice he hadn't heard in years. "Did you hear that?" Zoro asked, turning to Sia. "Hear what?" Sia looked confused, his sharp eyes scanning the surroundings.
"Zoro?"
The voice whispered again, gentle but insistent.
Zoro, we have much to discuss.
Zoro cleared his throat, uneasy. We should split up, Sia. I'll take this path. You go the other way. We'll meet at the top. Father, the mission is already dangerous. Splitting up isn't an option. Sia shook his head. Besides, we need to be back before midnight. You know the mermaids. If we don't get the flowers in time, they'll keep Tendai down there for good. That's exactly why we're wasting time right now discussing. Zoro's voice hardened. I'll see you at the top. Before Sia could protest, Zoro disappeared into the trees, leaving him standing there, stunned. What had gotten into his father? Zoro's mind was racing. He wasn't just chasing the mission now. He was chasing the voice of Tando. If he could find her, he'd finally apologize, thank her for giving him Sia and Tendai. He didn't deserve them, but they were his greatest gift. Meanwhile, Sia remained rooted to the spot, torn between concern for his father and their mission. Then, he heard it too. A soft, strange voice that seemed to echo in his ears.
Sha, we have much to discuss.
Palesa, Sha muttered under his breath, recognition hitting him like a punch. Their last meeting had been a disaster, a conversation he'd replayed over and over, regretting every word. Now he had a chance to make things right.
We have much to discuss, my love,
the voice said again, coaxing him forward. Driven by guilt and longing, Saya began walking toward the voice. He could make it right. He could apologize, and then he'd scale the mountain in record time. He just had to find her first. Both men moved in separate directions, drawn by the voices of their pasts. They were so focused on finding the source of the whispers that they lost all sense of time. The mountain shadows deepened, but they didn't notice. As they drew closer to the voices, they seemed to slip further away, pulling them deeper into the forest. From above, a figure watched them. The witch, cloaked in the night, smiled as she saw her plan take shape. She had managed to separate the two hunters, and now she would deal with them one by one. Leaping into the air, she transformed into a massive lion, her powerful paws crushing the earth as she landed. Her golden eyes gleamed with malice. Without warning, she pounced in front of Sia, her roar shaking the very mountain. The sound snapped Sia out of his trance. His hunter instincts kicked in. He unsheathed his sword with lightning speed, his eyes narrowing as he faced the beast. The lion roared again, louder this time, its massive claws scraping the ground. Sia moved like a shadow, fast and precise, dodging the first swipe with the grace of a true hunter. His sword sliced through the air as he struck at the lion's flank, but the beast was too quick. It countered with a powerful swipe, knocking the sword from Sia's hand. It flew through the air, clattering to the ground far from his reach. The lion bared its teeth, ready to deliver the final blow. The witch had seen Zoro from the corner of her eye. She had more tricks to play. In an instant, she shifted, her lion form melting into a small bat. With a high-pitched screech, she darted away from the scene, leaving Zoro's sword suspended in mid-air, aimed directly at Sia's heart. She wanted Zoro to end Sia. Sia reacted in the blink of an eye, rolling to the side, as Zoro's blade crashed into the ground where he had lay just seconds earlier, sending a shower of dirt into the air.
So close.
The witch's voice echoed from the darkness, filled with cruel delight.
See you at the top.
Her laughter faded as she vanished into the night, leaving father and son breathless, the weight of what almost happened hanging between them. They were running out of time, and the mountain still loomed ahead. Ijengo had been uneasy all day. His instincts screamed that something was wrong. He ordered a search for Nala the moment he noticed her absence. She had scanned out of the building, her vehicle parked near the beach where the snake people had gathered after the recent fight. Why did she go there? Samuel asked, though both men already knew the answer. Jengo didn't respond, unwilling to say it aloud. Speaking into his device, he barked orders to the two hunters on the move. Let me know as soon as you've made contact. Nandi stood nearby, her heart pounding with fear. Her mind raced with all the terrible possibilities of what could have happened to Nala. Every second that passed felt like an eternity. The reply came through, snapping everyone to attention. She's not here, sir. Her scent leads into the forest. Jengo froze, momentarily stunned by the news. The forest? What was she doing there? "Hold your position. I'm on my way." He leapt into action, his voice steady but urgent. "Samuel, get a car, be discreet. The hunters are already on edge." "I'll go with you," Nandi offered, her voice panicked. "No," Django replied firmly. "You need to stay here and keep the operations running. If word gets out to the others, the council might demand I step down. A leader who cannot protect and control his own family cannot lead the hunters." Nandi knew he was right. The council would pounce on any weakness. "May the goddess be with you," she whispered as Django disappeared into the corridors. Minutes later, Django, Samuel, and the two hunters stood at the edge of the forest. Django gave the command, and the group began following Nala's scent trail, moving swiftly but silently through the underbrush, every step bringing them closer to the unknown. Meanwhile, deep within the forest, a woman knelt before a group of figures. "Queen Amina, look what we found," one of them said, pushing the woman forward. Amina, regal and cold, smiled with quiet satisfaction. "What is your name, hunter?" "Nala," she replied, her voice steady but her eyes glowing with the unmistakable fire of her ancestors' blood. "Take her to the cells," Amina commanded, her eyes gleaming with dangerous curiosity. "I'll visit her shortly." As Nala was dragged away, it was clear she had been in a brutal fight. Her body was weakened, injuries slowing her steps, but her spirit remained unbroken. Queen Amina watched her with amusement. There was no doubt in her mind. Nala had been through something fierce. As Nala was dragged further into the camp, her gaze swept across the crowd, and then she saw him. Kwame. Her heart jolted in shock, disbelief flooding her senses. There he was, sitting comfortably among their sworn enemies. Their eyes met for a brief, electrifying moment. Kwame quickly looked down, unable to hold her gaze, shame washing over his face. Nala's mind raced, confusion and betrayal twisting in her gut. How could he be here? How could he stand the smell of them? What kind of hunter abandons his brothers in battle? Her anger flared, but beneath it, a deeper wound cut into her. Whatever was happening here, it was far worse than she had imagined. She had been foolish coming here at all. And that, my dear tribe members, concludes yet another episode in our Snake People series. The hunters have received their gift, but will Zoro and Sia make it back in time? Is this the end of Nala? We'll answer these and many more questions in our next episode. Thank you for your comments, dear tribe members. I read them all and they guide me in creating the story you want to see. It's always a pleasure sharing these adventures with you. Stay tuned. And as always, thank you for watching our story and we hope you enjoyed it. What lessons did you draw from this story? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and be part of the tribe. Thank you for watching The Tales of the Savannah. We will see you next time in the Savannah.